Hello, friends. Welcome back to the CEO Teacher Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about my favorite marketing hacks of 2023. We want to share what worked for us this year, what maybe didn't work, but what we're going to do moving into 2024. This is your firsthand account of things that have actually worked. So stick around. You don't want to miss it. What if I told you couldn't lose? That I could give you a sure bet, a smooth ride to finally loving the art of teaching again. I know it sounds crazy, but it's funny how when something sparks inside of you, when your heart gets lit back up, that you can change your life for the good, not only in the area of teaching, but really in every single thing that you do. I remember this aha moment when I was a teacher. And I was sitting there teaching other people's kids. And I thought, man, I'm getting paid to raise other people's children while I'm paying someone to raise mine. And that didn't sit well for me. So I started thinking to myself, how can I make extra money? How can I provide for my family more so that I can do this part time, or I can leave if I want to, or I can teach just in a different way? And I started thinking, how can I help other teachers? And if you're thinking to yourself, but I'm just a teacher, I don't really have any other skill set, I want to say thank goodness, because that is our specialty. Teachers supporting other teachers. It's exactly what we do here. I want you to start living the life you deserve. The 10 steps to get started selling your teaching resources online is your roadmap to help you take massive action and prioritize the most important things in life. I'm going to show you the strategies that I took when I began my journey, and I started living a life not only of my dreams, but now the life that I live and breathe every single day. I want to give that gift to you. Go to CaseyMorris.com/10 steps to get your brand spanking new workbook. I can't wait to change your life and give you some hope and some dreams again about teaching, because this is what you are meant to do. It just might be a little different than what they told you in college. Again, it's CaseyMorris.com/10 steps. You can type it in your browser like KAYSEMORRIS.com/10 steps. Jay Abraham, an author of one of my favorite marketing books, Getting Everything You Have Out of All You've Got, said, sell the benefit, not the company or the product. People buy results, not features. Sam Baker said, nothing sticks in your head better than a story. Stories can express the most complicated ideas in the most digestible ways. I was recently listening to Brené Brown, and I didn't realize how much of a master storyteller that she was. And the reason why people fell in love with Brené is, of course, she's an amazing researcher and she has a gift of gab, but also because every single story that she tells is so relatable. I often see marketers, especially in today's day and age, unable to relate to their audience. And I see them struggling. I see them just sharing about their business or just talking about the benefits of their programs. I see people with millions of followers and a couple hundred likes. And then I see our following, which is very small compared to some of the biggest entrepreneurs in the world, but our engagement is significantly higher. Our sales are right on track with some of the people that have the largest followings. And I don't believe it has anything more to do with our ability to connect, our ability to storytell. We teach in our programs something called connection marketing. I believe the old days are done of reading the marketing book and just being able to use strategies cold turkey, hoping that they work. I don't believe that people relate that way anymore. Since COVID, we really crave connection. If you cannot connect to your people, I think you are going to have a very hard time in the online space in the coming years. And so today, I want to share my favorite marketing hacks that are in line with our core value, which is be a good human, be good to all people. Also remembering our second core value, which is family first, family always. And remembering that important piece that we teach inside of the CEO Teacher membership, that is connection marketing, in addition to word of mouth marketing. My job is easier when you share what I do with other people, especially in the teacher's lounge, whenever you're eating lunch, because a teacher telling another teacher about what I do is more to me than any Facebook ad that I could ever put out into this world. I work with an amazing Facebook agency. I know that our company spends significantly less money on ads than most other entrepreneurs, yet we get a higher return. And that is because we have really, really honed in on what's working and what's not. So I'm going to jump right in to the data and then get you all the fun facts. In 2023, an estimated 4.9 billion people use social media across the world. These aren't users tied to a single platform. Now, the average user is spread through a digital footprint, right? They have 6 or 7 platforms that they engage in every single month. We are really highlighting the need for you to use multiple platforms in your approach to social media marketing. However, no platform should be used the same. I like to say go all in. The people that go all in are the people that win. So get something that you're really good at. I know that we can get an audience on TikTok, but my buyers aren't there. So I haven't posted on TikTok in, I think, a year. So think about that whenever you're thinking about what people you want to watch your content. Vanity metrics are still real. If you are looking for likes and for people to love what you do, then, really consider why you're posting. If you're posting so people will watch and those people are not your buyers, that's not a good business strategy. I post on Instagram stories, not for people in my hometown, but for people that would potentially become a buyer of mine. It takes the fear out of posting, honestly, because I used to be worried about what other people thought of me. If I saw her in Walmart and I said this, what would she think? But now I never think that. I honestly don't care. But I honestly also think in my head, I'm posting this to relate to my people, to my business people. If you're not for me, you're against me, and that's fine. That's fine. But I don't post for the people that are against me. I only post for the people that are Team Casey, that are Team CEO Teacher, because if I can help them, that is when the world becomes a better place, that my business gets to thrive, but also their lives get to change, that the ripple effect, the stone that I throw into the pond, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And so when I think about posting, those are the only people that I care about. Those are the only people that I even consider when I think about my next moves. And I want you to think about that too. I'm going to say something that may be contrary to popular belief, but Facebook continues to still be king. 53% of all social media visits go to Facebook. YouTube is the next with 2.5 million active monthly users. You will see us put all of our efforts in Facebook, on YouTube, and Instagram in 2024. That's it. Do I watch TikTok every night? Yeah, I love it. Do I like Instagram to scroll? No, not at all, but that doesn't matter. So you'll see us do that. Now, TikTok has generated $350 million in revenue. So if you're selling something physical, I think TikTok might be your best route. However, it makes me very nervous about building your business on rented land, and that is exactly what TikTok might be for you. So think about how you can create and cultivate an audience that will last. 81% of individuals believe social media has raised the bar for business accountability, and I could not agree more. So let's talk about what raising the bar could look like in your business, starting as quick as today, but really focusing these efforts in 2024. I want to give you my 5 top marketing hacks for next year and kind of the in and outs of how we're going to use them. First, I want you to create dream content for your audience. I want you to make a master list of what they need to know, of how you want to make them feel, and then really consider SEO as you are building out the ideas. Now, notice that I didn't say that it had to be business related. And that's part of our number 3 and number 4 thing that we're going to talk about. But when you're thinking about things that your audience might need to know or be interested in or want to feel, it doesn't have to relate to your business. So consider this: a kindergarten teacher. You should know how they feel on a day-to-day basis. What could make their lives better or easier? That doesn't relate to what you sell, because people need people in their corner. They don't need salesmen in their corner. So what are kindergarten teachers struggling with? What do they need you to teach them? How can they relate? Can they see you go out on a date in Nashville? I think about one of my favorite kindergarten teachers in our program, Kayla. Can they see you decorate your classroom? Can they see you plan out an entire year to love your job, to live your life, to be happy, to be in love? I think about Kayla, and I think the reason why she's so successful is, for one, I knew it the first time I met her. She has this amazing talent to just draw people in, and she's that much fun in real life too. Number 2, having a gift to show people a life that she loves, that she lives every single day. I recently shared about one of my dear friends, the lady who I rented my office space from in my hometown. I called her up on the phone and I was like, Miss Teresa, I heard you have a space available. Could I rent it from you? I got about $250 a month. I have this podcast and no one's really listening to it, but I really need a place to record. I got a new baby on the way and I'm still teaching full time. And she was like, sure. And so what Miss Teresa did is that she was a teacher to me then as she still is today. You know, she listened. It was in those quiet moments. It was in the reassurance, the, hey, Casey, I'm glad you're here. All aboard the CEO teacher train coming by. It was the tiny nudges, the I'm proud of you, you're doing a great job for years until I left the classroom and did that full time. And so Miss Teresa was a teacher to me then as she is to me now. I see her live her life on purpose as she does in her normal life and her business life. And doing that has made me want to be better as a business owner, has made me want to be better as a mom in life. She is so active. She is so much fun. She just beat cancer. Like she has so much life to give. And so my first marketing trick is create dream content for your audience. Be someone's teacher. Show them how to live their life on purpose, but don't just sell to them. That's where people are messing up. These big entrepreneurs are like, let me show you how to do XYZ. And while there is a time and a place more often than not, most people don't care to hear that most of the time. Number 2 on top marketing hacks for 2024 is develop fresh content instead of just thinking you have to have one big sale of something, lesson plans, and evergreen content. My skin crawls when people talk about selling things on evergreen all the time because that's not a very stable business strategy. Seasonal sales are great. Launch runways are awesome. You can have big spikes and awesome boosts in your income. Evergreen can carry some magic, but they're not going to bring a massive growth to your income. Instead, they're going to stabilize your income. When I say evergreen, I mean something that could be sold every single month, every single day, every single hour, or something that is continuous. So we have a membership. We only launch it twice a year. So we get a boost in sale that twice a year. But the membership is technically evergreen because people pay us every single month for it. We also have coaching services. We have value-based things that we can sell. Evergreen is important to stabilize your income so you're not sweating the small stuff. However, it should not be your main form of income. Just want to make sure that you understand that. Developing fresh content ideas that you can launch into the world that could be seasonal is a great effective strategy for a very high cash injection, but creating evergreen content is going to stabilize your income. Number 3 is tailoring your content to every single platform. So I mentioned about really using different types of social media, not just one. You know, you want to have Facebook and Instagram, but really thinking about your audience and showing them your life that doesn't revolve around that specific thing that you sell. For example, we knew back in March that we were going to be launching some new programs. And so we really wanted to do a test on what worked and what didn't. So I decided to do 75 hard. I know you've heard about it, but I posted on Instagram every day for 56 days. I was going to go 75. I did 75 hard, but we had a family event come up. And so I started skipping days around day 56. But what that experiment did is that it really showed me exactly what my people wanted to see. And we've had our 2 best launches this year because I was a person first and I related to people and I shared my life with them and I had nothing to do with my business for 56 days. However, I was building my business behind the scenes and I would throw in little tidbits here and there. I am currently sharing my marathon training every Friday. So if you go to my Instagram, Casey Morris, you'll see that every Friday I post a reel about my run group and we run the miles and I count the miles and it's so much fun. And I do that so you can see my life, yes, but you can see my discipline. You can see my happiness. You can see who I am as a person so that when I go to sell something to you and I ask for money from you, you realize that I'm not just some person that doesn't have your best interest at heart. You've been following me. We are real people. In 2024, we're going to go live on Facebook every Thursday. I know, right? For Teacher TV. We did this back during COVID, had one of our most successful launches because we served before we sold. And so that's really exciting. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What are you doing in 2024? I hope you'll come hang out with us on Facebook. That's so much fun to me. Find the best ways to engage with your people depending on what platform that you are using. Figure out hashtags and all of that. But guys, that's the least of our worries is figuring out a caption and hashtags. Figure out the content first. The rest will come naturally. Number 4 on my favorite marketing hacks is revisit archived content in meaningful ways. I once heard, I think it was Brendan Bouchard went and had a meeting with Tony Robbins, and Tony Robbins wanted to hear about why his Facebook ads were not doing as good and what he could do. And what Brendan did said, give me an hour or two. He went down and he made like a whole map and he was like, put it up on the board. And he said, okay, so I put in order number 1 through 5, your best high performing Facebook ads of all time. And Tony was like, okay. And Brennan said, so we're going to do that again. Tony was like, paid you all this money to tell me that? But it's a simple lesson that we learned here. It's that if it works, do more of the same. Instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, we were the worst at this. But our Facebook ads team said, Casey, if it works, let's do it. What works for us is camera, me talking on an ad. Our images do fine, but if my voice and my face is on there, the conversion rates are the best, our cost per leads are the lowest, and we know it works. Another thing that works is I am capturing them in the first 5 seconds of every ad now. We know that that works. We have some starters that have been very successful for us, and so we're going to continue to use those. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So remember that as you're creating content, I really want you to revisit archived content in meaningful ways. Think about how you could repurpose some of your long form content, especially like blog posts or quality content that you've put out into the online space. Find ways to leverage and reuse pieces of that content. Update the pins on Pinterest or update the content on your blogs, rewrite it or add new images. We got a huge influx in our traffic this year by just updating some of our best performing blog posts. I mean, like huge spike we've never seen before. We just took what was working and instead of doing more content, we fixed what was really working for us. And then finally, I've already alluded to this, but use short form video to engage customers and consumers that isn't business related at all. I want you to think about Instagram Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, Pinterest idea pins. Think about how you can leverage short form video. I'm talking a minute or less to get your point across. It's not easy to get what you want to say in a minute, but you do get better. I can get a full day's worth of information out in 1 minute or less. I'm like the 1 minute woman. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Barstools, but the 1 minute man is so intriguing to me because I thought, man, if I can get all my information out in 1 minute, that's pretty powerful. Use meaningful things. Remember, figure out what works. So if I'm going back and looking at my previous reels, I'm going to see which ones have the highest engagement, and I'm going to do more of that. Stop reinventing the wheel and start saying yes to reusing what is working. Thanks so much for listening to this show. As always, remember your best is yet to come, and I'll see you right here next Wednesday.